Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'd like to make a new playlist called Crazy Travel Stories. I'm going to tell you today about a travel story that happened to me in Colombia, in the city of Cartagena, a few years back. So I was backpacking for 2 months from Costa Rica through to Bolivia. My goal was to get further south, but I decided that Bolivia was as far as I could get in the amount of time I had. I arrived from Costa Rica. I went to Panama, where I met these two doctors. They were trauma surgeons from DC. They were really cool guys. I'll withhold their names, but they were really cool guys. And they invited me to meet them in Cartagena. And I thought, okay. They said, well, come fly with us. You can probably get on the same airplane. Okay. So I quickly bought a ticket, same airplane actually, and we fly into Cartagena. They have a hotel room. It just so happened to have 3 beds, 2 big ones and a bunk bed. And I took the bunk bed, and they didn't want any money. I kept trying to offer, they wouldn't take it. I tried to buy food, they wouldn't take it. They said they had enough money. It wasn't about the, it wasn't about the money. Okay, fine. So that night, we're getting ready to go out. I'm gonna walk around the old town, see some clubs, see some girls, have some fun. And we meet these Brazilian guys that were just in the room next to us in this hotel. There was about 6 of them at the time. They were working on the Ultimate Fighter Brazil TV show. I think they were editors, producers, cameramen, something like that. And they had some drugs on them. We didn't do anything with them. We just wanted to hang out. What they did was their business, not ours. So as we leave the hotel with the goal of going through one of the main squares that I can't remember, out into the kind of old part near the kind of castle. It wasn't the castle, it was the kind of like gunnery building up there. And we thought we could kind of walk through to some clubs. So we get ready, and everyone's ready. We're drinking a bunch, having a good time. And we decided we're going to cut through this square that we had heard about. It wasn't so good because there was a lot of prostitutes there at night, a lot of drugs there at night, dirty cops, things like that. But we decided, okay, well, we have to cut through there. The clubs are just on the other side. So as we're walking through, it's dark. It's, I don't know, maybe about 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the evening. We're walking. A couple girls say something to us. We, say hi back. We want to be nice. And all of a sudden, a policeman comes up to me and says, do you have drugs? And my Spanish is weak. I could say something. I was like, no tengo drugos or drugas, whatever it is. No, I'm just, voy al club. So I was telling the cop that we're just going to the club, and a couple more people came up because he kind of pulled me off to the side. So now I'm surrounded by the Brazilians, about 6 of them, the 2 doctors, who were in their 30s. I think one of them was exactly 30, was a couple years older than me at the time, and one was about 36, something like that. And now he's like, okay, everybody come follow me, we're going to the police station. And everyone's kind of caught off guard, like, what the heck? We didn't do anything, but, we gotta go. He's got a gun, he's got a billy club, but it's only one of them. We didn't want to start any trouble, so we followed him. Of course, everybody's nervous. Nobody was acting tough, and nobody thought that this was funny. In fact, I think I had a mini heart attack on the way there. So we're walking. It's nighttime. Everybody's looking at us. We start walking down these deserted streets. We're starting to get a little bit crazy. And we come up to this building, which I didn't identify as the police station because the lights were off. Everything was closed. The glass doors, everything was locked. And another 1 or 2 cops came, and they thought it was funny. They thought they could, get some money off of us or whatever. So he unlocks the glass door, and we go inside. And no lights, no cameras, everything is pitch black in there. And they start asking us to empty our pockets. Now I got a wallet. I got about $50 Colombian, give or $50 US, whatever that was in about Colombian, or it was 50 Colombian, something like that. Not much. I think the other guys had a little bit more money, but nothing super serious. Nobody was carrying around $1,000. So everyone emptied their pockets. and their wallets. I started to get nervous that they were gonna start going through our pockets because they could easily put something into your pockets and to say, "Oh, look, you have cocaine, you have this, you have that." I started to get nervous, so I quickly turned out my pockets out of my pants. I pulled them out so that they were already kind of exposed, the inner part of my pocket. And at this point, he's searching through everybody. I'm the last one. I'm really nervous. I tend to laugh when I get really scared or nervous. It's like a nervous reaction. I just start thinking everything is funny, even though deep down I'm actually really scared. And searching through, and he starts looking through my pockets, pats me down, totally touches my private areas, whatever. And lo and behold, they don't find anything on anyone. So they start laughing with us. They start telling jokes. And I'm thinking, yeah, this is all fun and dandy, but I want to get the hell out of here. I'm done with this police station. So they pack us up. They say, okay, thank you, go. And we leave the station and walk back to the square. Now, as we're walking back to the square, one of the doctors leans over to me and says, "I'm really happy that they didn't find my acid in my wallet." At this point, I was kind of taken aback and thinking, you could have gotten us in deep shit, but thankfully they didn't find it. Okay, great. The Brazilian guy, yeah, I had some cocaine. I'm glad they didn't find it. I was like, who else has what? This is crazy. Um, Ultimately, they let us go. We went to the club. We had a great time. We partied until 6 a.m. or something. So who knows, 6, 7 a.m. and came back and slept. But that was a pretty crazy story. So my suggestion is if you ever get pulled over by dirty cops, and disclaimer, I've only been harassed by cops just a couple of countries, just a handful of times. For the most part, nowhere has ever bothered me. Nothing has been as dangerous as I was warned. Thankfully, I kind of, I'm not saying it isn't for people, but I kind of just noticed if you don't go around looking for trouble, it tends to not find you. For my 5 cases, I never went looking for it, and it found me. Um, but all in all, I think that if you tend to avoid things, nothing will happen. And in this case, thankfully, they didn't find the drugs belonging to the 2 guys I was with, and we didn't get in trouble. So that's it for this version of Crazy Travel Stories. I'll have another one shortly.